I am Senior Master Sergeant Jeremy Remley, your Master of Ceremonies for today's event. The change of command is a traditional military ceremony in which the departing commander assembles their troops for presentation to the incoming commander. The ceremony serves to publicly notify the members of the unit that leadership has willingly been passed from one commander to the next. Additionally, this ceremony establishes a specific point in time when responsibility for the unit transfers from the old commander to the new. History reveals that as early as ancient Rome, standards representing national or clan origins were carried by advancing armies into battle. In later times, knights would carry crests on their coat of arms as well as on their shields, allowing their troops to rally to the standard throughout the battle. As recent as during the American Civil War, each lieutenant organization also carried into battle a set of colors. Today, the passing of the colors and the honor to carry them remains as prestigious an honor as it ever has been. An important aspect of the change of command, which has remained the same over time, is the public manner in which authority is passed from the departing commander to their successor. This act shows the public acceptance of responsibility that are passed to the new commander. This ceremony, just as it has for centuries, adds special color and pageantry to military life, while simultaneously preserving tradition and inspiring esprit de corps. Please stand for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the singing of the national anthems. Present the colors. Chaplain Boone, please come forward and give the invocation.
I invite you to bow with me in prayer. Gracious and loving God, blessed are you forever. Greatness, power, glory, victory, and majesty belong to you. We thank you for the many blessings that you have poured into our lives, the gift of family and friends, and the blessings that we know to serve our great nation in this beautiful host country of Japan. This morning, we thank you for the leadership that Lieutenant Colonel Christina Mora Urrutia has provided the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific. She is a leader driven by mission with genuine passion and care for others, a true servant leader and a friend who serves her nation and the people under her charge with integrity. We ask today that you be with her now as she leaves our ranks to assume a new position. Go before her and guide her every step. Christina, may our Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine on you and be gracious to you. May he lift up his countenance to you and give you peace. Today we thank you for the arrival of Major Michael Erber, Kristen, Cora, Grace, and Alice. We pray that they would be embraced and welcomed by our Yokota community. Today we acknowledge that the weight of command is great, so we pray for strength and wisdom in all of the decisions that Major Herbert will be called upon to make. Although experiences and lessons are sure to come their way that are new and different, this community and their training and experience will be sufficient, and thus they are prepared for their new role here at Yokota. Make us ever mindful that your strength enables us to protect others, and your providence keeps us safe. Turn our hearts to you that we may serve in excellence in all that we do and say. We pray these things in your most holy name.
Please be seated. Thank you to the Yokota Air Base Honor Guard, Master Sergeant Foley, Senior Airman Cancel, Airman First Class Bagley, and Chaplain Boone. It is an honor for me to introduce the official party for today's event. The presiding official in today's ceremony, the Director of Public Affairs, Headquarters Pacific Air Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Megan Schaefer. The outgoing commander, United States Air Force Band of the Pacific, Lieutenant Colonel Christina Mora Urrutia. The incoming commander, United States Air Forces Band of the Pacific, Major Michael Herbert. I would also like to recognize our distinguished guests in attendance today. Representing the 374th Airlift Wing, the Vice Commander, Colonel Sergio Vega. Representing the Command Chief, 374th Airlift Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Patrick Key. The Commander, 374th Mission Support Group, Colonel Tanya Anderson. The Commander, 374th Maintenance Group, Colonel Todd Wydra. The Commander, 374th Medical Group, Colonel Ingrid Ford. Also, some of our Friendship Club members, the President, Akiruno Yokota Friendship Club, Mr. Moratoshi Kobayashi. The President, Mizuho Yokota Friendship Association, Ms. Amiko Yamazaki. The President, Hamura Yokota Friendship Club, Ms. Yasue Sugiura. Finally, I would like to recognize all commanders, chiefs, First Sergeants, other samurai and Kensai warriors in the audience today, and especially the men and women of the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific. Lieutenant Colonel Schaefer, at this time, please come forward to give your remarks.
All right, good morning. Colonel Vega, Chief Key, commanders, distinguished guests, local leaders, men and women of the Gateway of the Pacific and the Band of the Pacific. It's an honor to be here. As I arrived here Sunday evening, I was greeted by the news of the passing of Senator John McCain, a great war hero and statesman. As many of us have probably done, I immediately thought back to the books and stories I've read over time of his and others' dramatic feats of survival while captive. In fact, it was during a previous assignment at the Pentagon when two other legends, Bud Day and Robinson Reiser, passed away, both of whom McCain credited for saving his life and for saving his honor. And if you've read some of those stories, you may remember some of the ways in which their courage and their defiance was manifested. And some of that was through music. One day in 1971, Reiser and several colleagues organized a church ceremony, a forbidden act, which led to more punishment. As their captors led Reiser away, despite a gun pointed directly at his head, Colonel Day and more than 40 other POWs in the room began singing the Star-Spangled Banner to show their support. The guard merely flinched and Colonel Day survived. Hearing the defiant singing, Reiser walked away with his back straight, head held high, full of pride. When asked later how he felt at the moment, he said, "I felt like I was 9 feet tall and could go bear hunting with a switch." I share this with you today because I feel like it perfectly illustrates the power of music. It unites us, inspires us, communicates when words don't, and even can bring calm to conflict. And such is the role of our Air Force bandsmen. And why we're here today, to recognize them and their leaders. To borrow the simple yet powerful phrase from the author Hans Christensen, when words fail, music speaks. So as I prepared for today and I reflected on those simple words and trying to find my own inspirational words, I thought, when words fail, music speaks. So instead of going on for several pages of remarks, I thought, let's just do a ballad, Chief. Chief Larson and I, so Chief, if you could, maybe put the guidon down, and we'll do... Okay, I'm joking. So see how far? Chief Larson, who isn't, home here at Yokota, he's home at Hickam with me, likes to play jokes on the airmen, so I just wanted to make sure I took the opportunity to embarrass him on stage today. So we'll let the team know. You might have turned a little red. I'll just say, it is truly an honor and a privilege to be here today, and quite possibly a miracle considering the weather that I had to battle in the Hawaiian Islands. It really wasn't that bad. When Christina first reached out to me and asked me to officiate, I really only had one question. Can I bring my tambourine? So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a musician at heart. When I arrived at PACAF, I was thrilled to know that I would be able to work so closely with our musicians. I've sang in many choirs, I played the piano, oboe, saxophone. Growing up, I didn't say how well, but I played all those instruments. Marching bands, jazz bands, orchestras, and even moonlighted in a funk band during college. So my love of music, my appreciation for its power, and the talented individuals who wield it, you could say is pretty strong. These days, some might call it a little bit of jealousy. I prefer to say appreciation. So just consider me a groupie to your team. All kidding aside, I'm here on behalf of our PACAF commander, General C.Q. Brown Jr., who I know got to be at the privilege of hearing some of our folks play up in Korea earlier this week, and our Deputy Commander, General Russ Mack, who really, it was his privilege to delegate this opportunity to me. And as Sergeant Renly so eloquently explained, this ceremony is a visible means of handing off that guidon. But it also allows us to not just honor the commander, but honor the unit. The Band of Pacific has a bit of a dual history. More than 70 years ago, the unit was established at Eglin Field, Florida, with a sergeant and 2 corporals. During World War II, the band was stationed in places like Bora Bora, French Polynesia, Solomon Islands, and Clark Air Base in the Philippines. In July of '88, the band relocated here to Japan and has continued its mission in the Western Pacific from Yokota ever since. At Hickam, once home to the 501st Air Force Band, a 35-piece unit performed from 1947 to 1975. During the drawdown during the Vietnam War, it was deactivated. And it wasn't reactivated again until 1995 when we felt we needed a full-time presence to support headquarters PACAF. So a 15-member unit was created, and we have maintained that same presence in both locations since. Their mission, which many of you are familiar with, is to enhance PACAF's warfighting capabilities by providing strategic soft power to reinforce alliances, expand partnerships, increase forward presence, amplify strategic messaging, invigorate warfighting resiliency, and build cross-cultural trust. It's a pretty big task. They are diplomacy at its finest, and as our Chief of Staff, General David Goldfein, has often said, the effects they create are more lasting than many of the things that we do. I've had the good fortune of witnessing much of this firsthand since my arrival to PACAF last year, and I know much of the success this unit has had over time is due to the tireless dedication, passion, and great enthusiasm demonstrated daily by your commander. And though I know they won't be able to be with us today, I want to pay great tribute to Christina's parents, Jim and Staya Moore, for the foundation of service and love of music they instilled in her at an early age. They taught her to strive for excellence, in service to others, and to enjoy the moment. It's no surprise when Christina shared with me that her mother recently returned from a mission to Cuba, and that her father continues to play and support his musical talents through performance in the Houston Symphony Choir. We model the examples of our parents. And though I haven't met them, based off of the leadership I've been able to witness from you over the last year, I can tell that you've had great role models. These past 3 years, Christina and the great airmen in this unit have been on the front lines of our strategy. Again, assuring allies and partners, building relationships with new populations and generations, helping us to increase our forward presence, invigorating our warfighting resiliency, and building cross-cultural trust. And while we all know that the military uses multiple means to get after all those objectives, our musicians are often uniquely suited to do it just that much better. As we said, where words fail, music speaks. As you'll hear in a moment as we present her decoration, though she and the unit are small in stature, and it's small in budget, though we're working on that, their impact collectively has been huge. During her 3 years, Christina's leadership has enabled approximately 1,200 missions, reaching more than 52 million people across 13 priority nations. Some noteworthy highlights: a return visit to Thailand, playing an indispensable role in the celebration of the 200th year of the U.S.-Thai relationship. Amid tensions on the peninsula, a historic performance for a group of North Korean refugees, reminding us that not only do our bands represent our military, but Americans on behalf of our nation. Orchestrating a 5-service joint combined big band, which is a first in history. Again, reminding us that even the strongest of relationships here in Japan must be maintained and can be further strengthened through music. At a time when it was difficult for even our senior leaders to visit China, our Band of Pacific served as a sole military group able to engage with local populations and supported the embassy. The ambassador describing that they helped to dispel the myths of the United States as an aggressive foreign power, serving as critical tools to communicate U.S. values of freedom and personal expression. And they were a critical building point for our relationship with Vietnam, engaging with local communities in support of the consulate, helping create new opportunities for trust, particularly across generations with diverse attitudes about the United States. What you won't hear in her declaration is the last-minute Herculean planning efforts, sometimes getting canceled, rescheduled. On more than one occasion, we asked them to create an all-Air Force presence at key engagements to COMPACAF, to include providing an all-Air Force ceremonial band for our unprecedented gathering of 17 Pacific Air Chiefs last September. These are just a few of the many tremendously inspiring engagements that Christina has led her team to accomplish over the past few years. We also know her service here in Japan extends past her uniform as a co-leader in a synagogue in Tokyo, making an impact not just regionally but locally as well. Christina, it's been an honor and a privilege to watch you lead. Through phone calls, emails, texts, and the occasional time we can actually face-to-face synchronize our efforts. You brought the perfect blend of professionalism and passion to your team. You served as a lead ambassador not only for PACAF, but for our nation. And while I know better to complain about living in Hawaii, I am jealous about you going to Europe. But having lived and served in the DoD's largest AOR, with a small but mighty team, and again a small but growing budget, I have no doubt that you have everything you need to lead USAFE well. So today we welcome Mike Herbert to our mighty team. Mike takes command with his wife Kristen, kiddos Cora, Grace, and Alice. We're still here, but struggling. You can make it, ladies. Thank you for being with us, adding some youthful joy to this event. I know you are no strangers to military sacrifice, and we appreciate everything you do in support of your dad and your father, your husband. We know this move is a pretty significant one, moving from so far away from home, but you will continue to be an inspiration for him. This ceremony brings Mike to his 4th command, and his 2nd taking the guidon from Christina. So let's just say, should be pretty good at this by now. As his bio shows, he's coming to us from Virginia, where he's the commander of 2 bands, the Heritage of America Band out of Joint Base Langley Eustis, and the Heartland of America Band based out of Offutt in Nebraska. They are our Air Force's largest regional band. Over the course of his last year, he led his airmen in execution of more than 1,500 events across 19 states, with a combined live audience of 2.3 million, and another 54 million through other means. He also launched an Air Force pilot program to provide musical therapy to disabled veterans, something that has been implemented regionally through the Department of Veterans Affairs. And though the scenery is a little bit different out here, Mike's professionalism in support of the warfighter is certainly without question. Having recently deployed in support of CENTCOM, he's no stranger to harnessing strategic effects to enhance diplomatic efforts and boost morale. Mike's known for using innovative efforts and ideas to connect to new audiences, and he's been recognized for his work as ACC's FGO of the Year for 2017. So the conductor of an orchestra really makes no music, right? Makes no noise. He depends on his power, on his ability to make other people powerful. I'm confident your record of excellence will build off of Christina's many successes and bring the Band of Pacific to new heights. My husband Eric, they're not here, and I wish you and Kristen a warm welcome to the PACAF family. And we look forward to working together to build upon those successes. Ensuring again, where words fail, music speaks. Thank you both, and congratulations.
Thank you, Colonel Schaefer. If you'll bear with me for just one moment, I would like to recognize some very important people that I neglected to recognize at the beginning. In addition to our distinguished visitors that are here, we have some very important folks here that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, because without our friends and family, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, especially in this remote location. On behalf of the outgoing commander from the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific, I would like to welcome Miss Emi Saito. And also, as Colonel Schaefer mentioned, we have Major Herbert's family here as well. His wife, Kristen, and his 3 daughters, Cora, Grace, and Alice. Thanks so much for coming out today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the medal presentation. Attention to order. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 2nd Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Christina M. Moore-Urrutia for meritorious service, 15 July 2015 to 22 August 2018. Lieutenant Colonel Christina M. Moore-Urrutia distinguished herself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander of the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific, Yokota Air Base, Japan. During this period, Colonel Moore-Urrutia led 1,211 missions, executing the National Defense Strategy's focus on strengthening alliances and attracting new partners by using music as a tool. to reach more than 52 million people, enhancing and reinforcing relationships in 13 priority nations across the Indo-Pacific region. By marrying Department of Defense and Department of State's initiatives, she increased the command's forward presence and positively influenced otherwise unreached populations in countries such as China, where the band was the sole United States military group able to engage the local population, and in Indonesia, where they positively transformed impressions of the American military with Islamic youth. Colonel Moore Urrutia aggressively pursued target refinement, increasing synchronization of band operations with headquarters planners, which jointly contributed to the Directorate of Public Affairs receipt of the 2017 Air Force Association Gil Robinson Award for Pacific Air Forces. Moreover, she successfully advocated for additional resources to increase the unit's strategic soft power capacity, increasing the budget by 87%, allowing for increased opportunities to engage allies and partners throughout the Indo-Pacific theater. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Moore Urrutia reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Thank you. Please be seated. Lieutenant Colonel Moore Urrutia, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Sergeant Remley. Well, I have to start by saying I hate podiums. They're never the right size. I'm sorry. Yes, short in stature, indeed. So, ma'am, I just want to say, first of all, Colonel Schaefer, thank you so much for being here today. As the director of PA, you know she's traveling everywhere with COMPACAF, and she was here not too long ago and made a return trip, and it's no easy task. So, ma'am, thank you so much for being here, for your words, for your encouragement, your friendship, your leadership. You're quite inspiring. I've learned so much from just watching how you interact with leaders as well as just the crafting of words. She is indeed a communications specialist. But it's also not just about the right words, it's about the right heart behind it, the intention, and all of that, ma'am, is wrapped up in you. So thank you so much for your support over the last couple of years. Colonel Vega, Chief Key, Colonel Wydra, Colonel Ford, Colonel Anderson, and Colonel Hutchison, thank you so much for being here today. First of all, to the wing leadership and my fellow commanders, squadron commanders in the audience today. I'm so grateful that we have such a strong relationship. As a tenant unit on this base, it's not often that we are able to work so closely with our wing. Just the nature, usually, of our missions is a little bit different. But in this case, we are linked so closely together in trying to strengthen partnerships here in Japan and our surrounding communities. And so I just want to say, personally, it's been an honor to be part of that mission and to work with each of you in different capacities, and to also just have a group of friends and colleagues and leaders that I can look up to and learn from. So I thank you so much for that. For Colonel Hutchison in particular, and all of our supporters throughout the AF or the PA friendship and colleagues, we've got Ms. Stagg out there, Nate Raisler, the whole team from top to bottom. I'm just so honored to be part of you. We have had such a wonderful experience working together. At least for me, it's been such a tight relationship, and as I seek to learn from you, sir, and as well as from my other colleagues, of how do we continue to advance our leaders' intentions in this area. It's when we do it together, it's so much more powerful. We're able to add that extra level of professionalism, and I know that it makes an impact in this region. So I just want to thank you, each and every one of you, for being part of that, for joining with us, for partnering with us, and for recognizing in our mission just how we can advance the priorities here in the Pacific. I also want to say thank you so much to all of our friends from our local communities, from the various friendship clubs. It is such an honor that you're here today. I remember 3 years ago when I took command, I met several of you then, and at the time I had no idea how important that was. I didn't recognize just how profound it was that you were at our particular change of command. And each of us, each of the different groups is connected with a particular town or city, but we as the band get the privilege of being connected to all of you. And so I'm so grateful for your presence here today. It's a reminder of the importance of our friendship, and I hope that it also reflects the impact that the band has had as we work together to continue to build partnerships and friendships in this region. I was so impressed by coming here and being welcomed by not only just the leadership, but all the way from the communities to the schools. Children and adults alike have just welcomed us with open arms here in Japan. And those relationships are so critical, right, especially right now. And so I just want to say thank you for being such wonderful hosts, for your friendship, for your musicianship. Many of you, we have musicians in the audience as well, some fellow conductors from the Japanese Self-Defense Force bands, and retired as well as current. And it's just such an honor. We also have other military band, American military bandsmen in the audience. So what a reflection of the partnerships that go on here in the Pacific. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your friendship. But most of all, thank you for what we are doing together here in Japan. I would like to just take, command is all about thank yous, honestly, and it's, I suppose for the people in the audience, maybe it's a little boring, but for the commander, we recognize it's a little embarrassing to kind of hear some of the things that are mentioned, because all the hard work is going on behind the scenes with all the folks in your command executing your vision. And so I just want to say thank you to the band. You all have no idea how much you influence me on a daily basis. Your leadership and your professionalism is unmatched. I know many people don't get a chance to see in action. We're traveling all over the Pacific, and our friends here in Japan sometimes may wonder, so what is it you guys do all day? You play music all day? Well, yes, but it's music with a purpose, and that purpose is so profound. When you can speak to someone who had this impression of the American military that was strictly from the movies. They equate us with Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm showing my age. It's a whole other thing when you see their face change and you can recognize the impact that music makes. Soft power isn't something that a lot of people like to talk about, but it's critical. And it keeps us from having to get to the next level of conflict. And so for that, I know, as airmen, that's what we all prefer. So to those musicians who are making that impact every day, thank you so much. It's not about the list of accomplishments that we've done, it's about the hearts that we've changed. It's about the people that we've influenced. It's about the representation of our nation and our Air Force. And you all are doing it supremely well. So it's been an honor to serve you. And I hope that we will meet again. It's an awfully small Air Force and an awfully small career field. So I will see a few of you again, indeed. To my friends and family, my spiritual friends, and my physical family, you have no idea how much that you have meant to me. Command is a lonely challenge. But I don't do it alone. And I'm so grateful for your support, your prayers, your encouragement. Across thousands of miles, my grandmother, my Grandma Mary, who's going to be 93 in a few days, and I will get a chance to see her. To my parents, to my family in Chile, and to my family on my dad's side scattered across the United States. I am truly blessed. And to stand in front of you today, it's only because of them. It's like Colonel Schaefer said, I had tremendous example on both sides, and I have a heritage that is long and prestigious. And I just pray that I've done you honor, that I have served the Lord and I've served you all well, and that it is reflected positively on who you all are and who you have taught me to be. So thank you very much. So I'd just like to close with just an encouragement. Our mission is so important. If you don't know, I'm supremely passionate about it. And I'm so grateful to have had the honor to serve in this incredible theater. And so for those of you who are continuing to serve here, I just want to encourage you to continue to stay strong. It's not easy sometimes. It's a challenging theater. It's very dynamic. There is a lot going on, but we're making an impact. We're making a difference, and we do it together. So thank you for the opportunity to serve you all. Thank you for the opportunity to command. It is truly an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Morrutia. The men and women of the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific are proud to have served with you and wish you good luck and Godspeed. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the formal change of command. Under the provisions of AFI 51-604 and Special Order Number G18-018, Lieutenant Colonel Christina Morrutia relinquishes command of the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific to Major Michael Herber, effective 28 August 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, United States Air Force Band of the Pacific, Major Michael Herber. Please be seated.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ohio gozaimasu to our friends. I am so humbled. I am honored, and I truly am excited to have this opportunity. Colonel Vega, Chief Key, our group command leadership here, Colonel Hutchinson, fellow squadron commanders and other leaders around the base. I'm so looking forward to meeting all of you and getting to work with you, partnering here in this amazing base that we have, this amazing community that we have here. Colonel Schaefer, ma'am, I met you for a day, but I'm truly, I am inspired by your leadership and the things you are saying and your ability as a public affairs leader to also relate to our musical mission, as we are all professional communicators, whether we're doing it with video or we're doing it with print or online or media or with music. It's vitally important. So ma'am, I'm truly looking forward to learning from you, to listening to you, and getting some great guidance from you as well as I learn how to do this mission in this theater. Colonel Moritia, as was said, this is the second time I have replaced you as a commander. As you all have heard from her, and those of you who have known her, yes, we've kind of made the small jokes about your stature, but I can tell you, man, your shoes to fill are giant. And I thank you so much for your friendship, your mentorship, and your example. I will do my best to live up to those. So, I want to say huge thanks also to our PACAF band members, Pacific Trends combo, for playing at the beginning. Man, you guys sound great. It's awesome. Thank you to our national anthem performers as well. I have to say, I think, and I love the Stars, our Star Spangled Banner so much as an American, but the Japanese national anthem is one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard. It is truly beautiful, and I'm so honored to be in your country. Thank you, Sergeant Remley. You do have a career in radio after this, for sure. Outstanding. And I have to say personally, Sergeant Remley and his family, Lydia and their daughter Emma, truly were amazing sponsors for Kristen and myself and our family arriving here, so thank you for that. Chief Larson, thank you for standing back there like the stoic TI you have been. But Chief and I worked together at, I'm trying to make him smile, he's probably doing a really good job of not. Chief Larson was my band manager at Langley for the last year. In fact, we just parted ways back in March, and now we're back together again. So, but Chief, thank you for coming out here and being a part of this. I'm truly look forward to working with you again, and your leadership being our voice at the PACAF headquarters. Thank you again to all of our PACAF band members here. This is a unique opportunity for me. There's about just a few folks I have served with before. It is a small career field. But there are so many new faces, so many new talented people that are here. Truly looking forward to getting to know you and your families as well. I've deployed twice. Being in a deployed environment, I know that there's been similarities between this mission and kind of that deployed mission with how fluid things can be, how missions can change right away. But being out here with our families makes a difference. It is a different challenge for sure, and I recognize that. And so I really look forward to my family getting to know your families as well. And finally, on the thank yous, I cannot thank my wife Kristen and our 3 daughters so much. A month ago, we were in Virginia just closing up our house, and now we're here taking a almost 5-year-old, almost 3-year-old, and a 4-month-old halfway across the world. It has its own challenges. So Kristen, I love you. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for being a rock. You're amazing. And I got to thank Sergeant Weber back there, our first sergeant. I think he's wrangling all 3 of my kids in the back. So, what a good first sergeant. Way to go. So, again, I truly am just honored and humbled to have this opportunity. We say in our bands, our missions are honor, inspire, and connect. Music is primal. Music, even before there were languages, there was music. And music has that, it's just, we're in such an ancient part of the world, and music is such an ancient art of binding agent for all of our people that has continued across centuries. And I'm looking forward and so proud of the work that our airmen are going to be doing and partnering with all of you as we continue this great mission out here. So, and with that, I just want to say again, I'm so thankful to be here. I'm looking forward to meeting and learning from all of you as I take on this mission here. So, Thank you all so much again.
Thank you, Major Herbert. The men and women of the United States Air Force Band of the Pacific welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and departure of the official party.